Hello, my name is Nidia, and I will present for you Merrill Swain's output hypothesis. And first of all, I would like to explain that I did use the Gamma page, but as it doesn't have, as I don't have the complete access to the platform because it requires to pay, I just took screenshots and I will explain it in this PDF. Okay, Merrill Swain's output hypothesis explains that, first of all, we will explain understanding language acquisition dynamics. Well, in order to unlock language acquisition, we need to understand that language production impact. Merrill Swain emphasizes that the importance of language production as a core mechanism in effective second language acquisition. Also, learner's journey, we have learner's journey insight, understanding how output drives the learning process, ultimately enhancing second language fluency and competence. And it's important that highlighting how interactive experiences contribute significantly to learners' language development journey. Well, here we need to explain two important concepts, which are input and output. Input is the comprehensible language learner receive, according to Krashen in 1985. And on the other side, output is the language learners produce, which actively contributes to the learning thought, noticing gaps, testing hypotheses, and reflecting on language, according to Swain in 1985, mentioned in Lemming. Also, it is important to mention that Merrill Swain hypothesis introduces output as vital components, complementing input for effective communicative competence. Well, exploring real-world challenge faced by language learners. Here are some of the challenges that learners can face during all this process of acquiring a second language. First of all, navigating communication breakdowns. Well, real-life experiences showcase learners' struggle, highlighting the need for practice and production in communication. Focus on haptic production. Advanced learners, in particular, benefit greatly from prioritizing language output in real-world scenarios. And also, it is important to mention the importance of pragmatics, emphasizing the role of output in navigating social interactions and enhancing pragmatic language skills, as it is mentioned by Candling in 1986, mentioned in Juliming in 1990. Well, also, social interaction dynamics are important because understanding how collaborative efforts in language learning can bridge gaps in communication and competence. For example, in class, the teacher can include dynamics as role-playing, and it is suggested by Fuller, Parch, and Panel in 2017. Okay, also we have to mention that output and feedback are related because feedback plays a crucial role in language development by encouraging learners to test and modify their language output, which help push their interlanguage forward. Well, also Piquetel in 1989 found that more than one-third of learners' utterances were modified in response to feedback, showing that output helps learners notice gaps and refine their language use. Well, here I wrote some teachers' considerations based on the output hypothesis. Well, first of all, use interactive tasks. Try to include activities like role plays, interviews, and discussions to push students to produce more language. Second of all, encourage feedback. Design tasks where students respond to peer feedback and revise their output. Then we have increased pressure gradually. It means that you should start with low pressure group work and build up to individual speaking tasks. And finally, make it meaningful. Focus on real-life topics and purposeful communication to boost engagement and learning. Well, and here I would like to mention my conclusion, which is that as a future teacher, I believe the output hypothesis highlights the importance of giving students meaningful opportunities to speak and write. Language isn't just learned by hearing, it's trained when learners use it themselves. By encouraging students to produce language, respond to feedback, and reflect on their own use of English, I can help them develop both fluency and accuracy. This theory reminds me that communication should be at the heart of every lesson. And here you can see my references.